Today is step one in fencing projects next door to my house. The project is going to be barbed wire fence from there to up there where I put in that water trough the other day. It's about 700 feet, and this is about as easy as it gets. Straight and flat. We're going to put a 4-foot man gate right there just in case they need to walk in down here, because there are some water lines. If something got broken, they don't have to walk all the way around to come down here. So I'm going to show you the steps to do this. There we go, 1 foot diameter by 3 foot hole. I have a little mark I keep on my diggers at 2 foot and 3 feet, so I know when I'm getting close I don't have to get a tape measure out. The soil where I am today is real sandy. It's really loose. I dug that hole by hand in about a minute. It's so loose that when I get this fence real tight, I don't want this brace to pull out of the ground. So I take a T-post and pound it down in the hole as far as I can get it. Leave about 2 feet of the T-post above the bottom of the hole. And then I'm gonna fill the pipe after I have it in with a little bit of really wet concrete so that the pipe grabs that T-post, and that T-post acts like an anchor going even deeper into the ground than I just dug. Got my pipe slipped over my T-post. It's the correct distance away from this other post, 4 feet inside to inside. When you put up a gate or buy a gate, it's meant to fit a certain space. That doesn't mean the gate itself is 4 feet wide. It means it's meant to fit a 4 foot space. I'm gonna add a little bit of really wet stuff to grab that T-post down there. No big chunks. Here's our post, piece of 2 7/8 used oil filled pipe, very common and easy to get in our area. I don't like using wood. Wood can rot and it can burn. This will never go anywhere. It's not gonna rust away in my lifetime. And if a fire comes through here, which is possible, it'll still be standing. This post has 4 60-pound bags of concrete in that hole, 240 pounds. I got 1 barbed wire stretched out from point A to point B. That's going to be my straight line for driving T-posts. Just stretch that wire out with your typical come along and wire grabber. I got my T-posts all laid out in a straight line. I'm using the Skydrill G20 2-stroke pounder. It took about 11 minutes to pound 700 feet worth of T-post, spaced 10 feet apart. Got my braces all welded up. If I can drive to the place where they are, and if it's not a fire hazard, I do like welding them. They look really nice. So got my crosspiece welded on these guys as keepers for the wire, so that it's not just wrapped around there. Makes it look real clean, and there's no wire to catch your hands on that post. So all welded up and gate mounted, and now I'm gonna stretch the wire. All right, I got my wire stretcher back on, start pulling. Now it seems like it's tight, but that wire's got memory from being on the roll. So you have to go out in the middle of your run and stretch it to take the memory out of it. So I'll go do that. So I went out in the middle and pulled the wire perpendicular to the fence, pulled it away from the line of posts, and that takes the memory out. So that come along really loosened up. It's amazing how much more you can get out of it. I'll probably get another 6 inches to a foot of stretch out. I like to get it just tight enough I can do it with one hand. It seems like you're gonna start breaking stuff, and then I stop. So I don't break stuff. Get as much slack out of this little bit as I can. I don't need this huge tail. And then just take some nice tight wraps. Cut off my tail. Loosen my come along. And go start clipping. All right, to clip these, I always count down from the top. I don't count up from the bottom, from the ground level. I adjust the post afterwards to the ground level, and I'll show you that. So on this one, I'm gonna leave 2 full buttons above the wire. I'm gonna do 5 strands, 4 spaces apart. So that would be my top wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, second wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, third wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, bottom wire. And then once I get the bottom one set, I can just count 4 up for the next ones. And then once this whole thing is in, I can come back and blend these posts to make it all have a very good flow, so that one post doesn't seem to be sticking out of the ground more than the other. Clip, I always put them with the solid part facing down, so that if something pushes down on it, it can't push that little tab down and open it and pop the wire off the fence. I have clip turner, little fancier than a screwdriver, and so turn that side over. It's got a hole on this end, put that on that tail, turn it down, and then I turn that over, put that tail in the slot, and twist it over. So there's no way that's coming off. Now this fence line, I'm almost done. These were used posts this guy had to save himself some money. So these weren't brand new. So there's about 3 different eras of posts in this fence. So inevitably, some of them didn't have feet on them. Some might have been 6.5 versus 6 foot. So once you start getting your wire up, you're gonna end up with some that are tall, like that one. That one seems from taller than all the rest by about 3 or 4 inches. So it's easy enough just to go back with a hammer in this soft soil and knock it down. Oops. So that it's the same height as the other posts. What you don't want is to look down your fence and see 6 inches of post sticking above the top wire in one spot and 3 inches in the other. So you just pound them down to the same level and blend them all in. So I'll walk the whole line, and any that just to my eye seem high, I'm not going to do a tape measure, because you're just going to see it with your eyeball. So if it seems high, it probably is. I'm just going to go knock these high ones down a few inches. On to your new field with a new fence. Go explore. Don't destroy my fence. All right, happy cows. We got about 5 acres out here. Oh, lots of room to run now.